Hi, I'm Mr. Jenkins, the ski leader for the forthcoming trip to Italy. Next week I will require back a number of forms that will be sent to you today. Information not limited to next of kin, alternative next of kin, doctors, any medical ailments, any previous or current injuries, and behaviour code of conduct for children. The trip has been thoroughly risk assessed from the moment the children arrive on Sunday morning to the point of handover the following Saturday, when you should be readily available to collect them at 6 p.m. in the evening. I've sent out previously a kit list highlighting what is needed for the tour. If I can just emphasise one point with regards to over-the-counter medicines, please do not send your children with paracetamol, aspirin and other medicines alike. It's difficult for us to treat children whilst we are away and effectively record what medicines they may or may not have had and when. Additional staff that are coming along on the school ski trip, we have Mr. Sam Tripp, the school staff instructor. He will also act as a ski instructor. We have a school nurse, Miss Denise Carney, and my wife Carrie, who is house parent and house matron of St Paul's to both Roach and Allen houses. Before departure, I will also require €15 from each pupil to cover the following. €10 will be requested per person on arriving at the hotel as a damage waiver. This money is refundable, subject to there being no damage found on our departure. Additionally, with this arrangement, before the children occupy their rooms, we will ensure that children check their rooms, and those children that do need assistance, we will go around and look for any faults or any damages. Once the children are in the rooms, we are then responsible or held accountable for any damage that's found thereafter. The additional €5 is for our ski passes. Again, this is a refundable amount at the end of the trip. If the ski passes, lift passes, are lost during the duration of the week, then we are charged for a new ski pass. At the end of the week, when we hand in our ski equipment, the helmet which is provided, skis, boots and ski poles, providing all equipment is returned, then there will be no billing to be paid. Unfortunately, on some trips, children do lose ski poles or misplace them. If ski poles are not handed back, again then a charge will be made and you will receive that cost on additional billing on return to the UK. On the day of departure, I would like all pupils that aren't driving directly to Heathrow Airport to meet at Prior Park College at 5:20, ready for a 5:30 sharp departure on the Sunday morning. I will be speaking collectively to the children next week to explain the expectations of behaviour and just to go over any questions that they may have in relation to the week whilst we are away. I mentioned previously about ski equipment and ski hire. If you are sending your child with their own helmet and their own boots, please can you make this known prior to departure, and I will contact you separately seeking additional information. Our check-in opens at 07:30 and our flight is expected to depart at 09:30. We do have a flight transfer landing in Frankfurt, Germany, before onward travel to Milan and then eventually the hotel resort. Again, what I would ask, first meal as part of the tour package is on our arrival at the hotel, that all children do have sufficient euros to be able to purchase any items they wish to while transferring through Frankfurt or at a service station stop whilst in Italy. Once we take ownership of the children, and throughout the entire tour there will be appointed a team leader. Each team then will conduct their activities under the supervision of one of our adults. For example, on arrival at Heathrow, on arriving at the terminal, we will split down into 4 designated groups. The group leader of that group will then see all children within their group through check-in, taking them through then to security, and then meeting them again at the other side prior to meeting again at the boarding gate. Similar will happen again once we arrive at Frankfurt. We'll take them through the terminal, through security again if it's needed, and then give specific instructions of what gate to meet at for departure in Frankfurt. Every step of the way, the children will be supervised and not allowed to go off on their own outside of both airports in UK, Germany and Italy. Once we arrive at the hotel resort, it's expected that we'll go for our ski fit. The information that you've provided in relation to height, weight and shoe size will be used to appropriately fit out all children. Thereafter, we're back at the hotel and we endeavour to have a quiet and peaceful evening. I do suggest that children pack a good book or some cards, Uno play or other alternative playing cards to keep them occupied during silent or quiet periods or periods of quiet time. With respect to rooming, it's been quite difficult to try and get everyone in as they would wish to have been roomed. If it's any consolation, I'm going on the tour with my wife and have been told there's not a twin room or a double room available. I'm yet to break that news to my wife. So the fact that your son or daughter may have at least one friend in their room, okay, they are very lucky. I would ask that children respect other people's private space and their belongings. Do not expect because you're sharing a room you can share each other's equipment and personal belongings. Please refrain from sending out any expensive items. More often than not they get damaged or they're not used. During the week we do allow children into the village in a minimum group of 4s. We have an adult staff member situated at hotel reception who book in and book out the children. We do limit the time that they can go to town because we don't want them out any longer than necessary. The children will be taken into town and shown where the local amenities are before being allowed out in their groups of 4. If a child is ill during our time away, fortuitously we're taking a school nurse. If it's a minor ailment, we will assess, if required, call a local doctor and take further advice. A situation may arise that the pupil is not deemed fit or needs to rest either in the morning or afternoon. They will still come out with a group and they will be accompanied to a ski side cafe stroke hotel and wait there with an adult whilst the remainder are out skiing. In the unlikely or unfortunate circumstances that someone becomes injured, again we have systems in place of local doctors, local hospitals and a regional hospital that we've previously been and seen and we're fully aware of how to get to each location. Again, hopefully these won't be required. Day 1 on resort will be a ski assessment in the morning. We are scheduled to have a 3-hour session in the morning, an hour lunch break and 2 hours in the afternoon. The initial ski will be a ski assessment under the instruction of our Italian ski instructors. Please speak to your children if they believe that they are an advanced advanced skier, that they do not go out to over impress their instructors. Anyone that skis outside of safety parameters will more often than not find themselves placed in a lower group, which I'm afraid is frustrating for the child and frustrating for me trying to deal with it, because they have not skied safely during that assessment morning. After a short break, then we'll be split down into 5 groups. Those 5 groups then will predominantly stay fixed for the entirety of the week, unless someone is struggling in a group above and someone is at the peak of their group in the group below, and then we will change 1 for 1. Day 2 is similar to day 1, 3 hours in the morning, a hot lunch on the slopes, and then 2 hours in the afternoon. Both day 1 and day 2, because of the length of the ski days, we often find that children tire quickly, and children will require additional euros for a hot chocolate or a soft drink, because instructors will give them a break within their 3-hour slot in the morning and possibly the 2-hour slot in the afternoon. Day 4 sees an exciting visit to Bormio. Many of our pupils have been there before. It's an excellent resort, and we go up to Bormio 2000. We're due to ski from 9 o'clock till 1 o'clock, again with breaks throughout the morning and into the afternoon. We will have lunch up at Bormio 2000 before making our way back to our resort hotel. Day 5, we'll see a reciprocation of the previous day, 5 hours again at Bormio. On both days we'll use the local bus services to get from our hotel to Bormio 2000. Day 6 sees us staying within our resort and again skiing 3 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon before returning all ski equipment. And day 7 is an early rise, the children don't know this yet, for our journey back to the UK. Each evening, dependent on the tiredness of the children, we will conduct some evening ski activities, limited or not limited to a quiz night, a DVD night, a rest night, a pizza night, and then a final celebration night. Again, all these activities haven't been budgeted for previously, as highlighted in the initial letter, and again, I don't expect any cost to be that excessive, but that additional billing will follow on your next school bill. Day 7, day of departure from resort. I did say it's an early start, 4 o'clock wake up, and it's a packed breakfast, which is our last meal contained within our tour price. 4:30 then, a departure to Milan Airport before our flight departure and transfer via Frankfurt, Germany again. Estimated to land back in the UK at 4:45, so I envisage us being back at Prior Park College at around about 6 o'clock in the evening. Whilst we're away on the tour, there will be evening activities. These evening activities have not been accounted for in relation to cost and will be billed at the end of the tour. I don't envisage these evening activities to be that expensive. Children will require additional money whilst in the UK so they can feed themselves prior to departure at London Heathrow. I will endeavour to contact you all and send pictures on a daily basis through our WhatsApp group. Please, if you do need to get in contact, send a text message or a private WhatsApp message. I'll endeavour to catch back up with you at the first available opportunity. Whilst we are away, We will endeavour to put plenty of pictures up on our WhatsApp group. We'll also put pictures up via the school Facebook group, and if we have time, we will also try and Facebook Live again, all through the Fire Park College Facebook page. We will try and capture pictures of as many children as we can, but some of those children are ninjas on the slope and may be difficult to catch at different stages.